Hello everyone. Well, it's time to finally get started on our big piece for band and orchestra, and I thought it would be fun if we could do this together, just like we got started together on it in March. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into my studio and walk you through all of the things that go on as we put this piece together. So let's start from the beginning. So here is the studio where we'll do most of our work. Now, as you can see, there's a piano here where we can doodle and try some things out. And then on top of the piano, there's a big piece of cardboard with a very large piece of music paper on top of it. And that big piece of music paper is required because we have so many instruments that we have to deal with in the band and the orchestra. And so we need lots and lots of staves. And then walking into the living room here, this is where we're going to do a lot of our thinking and a lot of our organizing and getting some of our inspiration. And as you can see, there's a rather large body of water out here. And that water reminds us of the kindness spreading like waves and ripples on top of the water. Now, I shared a picture with you before showing you some of the planning stages of this work. So here it is up close, and at the top you can see some of the melodies that I got directly from you. And down below, I'm trying to work out some of these melodies, trying to string them together in various ways. And then down below that one, and that melody suggested another melody that one of you wrote. And I was thinking about ways that I could string all of these together so that they might sound like one melody. In a way, it's almost as if all of your beautiful little minds work together to create this one beautiful long melody. And after this, I started to think about the idea of the rippling water that some of you suggested in some of the pictures that you sent and some of the words that you gave me. And so in the middle here, I just have these little isolated ideas here, and it looks like just little blotches on the paper. But what I'm really suggesting is that each one of these little blocks continues while the other one comes in. I was imagining this kind of rippling effect as the instruments came in and came out. And this led to more and more ideas. So now I'm trying to put together that idea of the ripple effect with that gorgeous long melody that I created by stringing together your melodies. And this was a little bit harder to do just because sometimes the chords didn't always work out with the melodies, but this is what I finally came up with. So we have this floating idea here, this rippling idea in the instruments. And then remember this melody? I took the basic idea of that and then I transposed it down here so that it would work with this. And that brought me to our next chord. So now I have a melody that has the chords of the piece. And hopefully, as I work through this piece, I'm going to find more and more ways to use that. So as you can see from this page, that melody that I just played for you. I boxed in the notes that really become the main melody of the piece. And I often like to have a little more material, something contrasting, something else that can give us, a different perspective. And so there was another really lovely melody, and I remember us all playing this together when I came in March. That thing right there. Let me play that for you again. And I referred to this as Little Hurts, because when many of you wrote about kindness, you wrote about joy and about sharing and about all those lovely things that make kindness what it is. But some of you also wrote about some of the pain you've experienced and how kindness has really helped you through that pain, or how you've seen someone else in pain and how you've been able to help them. So we can't very well have a piece about kindness without some sorrow or something sad in the piece. And so Little Hurts becomes a little melodic idea that I think I'm going to use in the piece. Now, in this next page, what I decided to do to finish off today was to graph or chart what I was going to do in this piece. So in the opening, we're going to be building a storm, kind of, in a way. And it's going to start with these ripples. And our melody. So we're going to build up that idea. But then at about 1 minute through the piece, as you'll see, I've indicated right here, at 1 minute, we're going to have the Little Hurts come in. And I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like or how that's going to sound yet, but I'm going to work with that idea. And then after that, those Little Hurts build up to a war inside. Somebody wrote something really profound on one of the sheets that they gave me. And they said, everyone has a private battle waging inside. And so I thought of this war going on. And so this is going to build to a big climax starting at about 2 minutes. And that little 60 below is measure 60, because I've already done the math. I have my metronome marking, and I know how many measures it takes to get to 2 minutes. And then at 2.5 minutes, measure 75, kindness is going to rain down. Raining was an image that we talked about when we met in March, and also some of the ideas that I got from the beautiful words that you shared with me and some of the pictures as well. And so I have some ideas about using maybe just some of the percussive instruments and the harp and the mandolin and the guitar and the piano kind of as solo instruments here to imitate rain. And I think I may even take some suggestions from you later on about this. And then finally, at about 3 minutes and 25 seconds, measure 98, there's going to be a big ripple effect, a river of kindness that's going to branch out and create a big, big tutti close. Tutti is another word for all, where everybody is playing. Sound good? All right, let's see what tomorrow brings.